In this video, I'm going to solve this integral by using a u substitution. However, first you have to identify what should be the u. And looking at this, we have a cosine cube, and then we have sine to theta. Sine to theta from algebra to trig or pre-calculus, you learn that it can be expanded into sine to sine theta and cosine theta. Okay, so if I substitute back in, I'm gonna have this, but notice that 2 can be pulled in front of the integral sign because it's constant, and the cosine, as you see, can be multiplied. Now you have to identify what to be u. Either you can say u equals cosine theta or u equals sine theta. It's much easier to choose u equals cosine theta. That's because if you take the derivative, you're gonna get the sine theta d theta form. So I'm gonna set u equal cosine theta, and then if I take a derivative, I get du equals negative sine theta d theta. So that matches this sine theta and sine theta d theta, except I have minus sign. Make sure you place this minus sign in front of constant 2. And I can set u to the 4th here. And here's a very common mistake by students. You can't put the pi over 2 in terms of du and or u's here. It also must be converted back to it must be in u form. So for example, if I put the theta, okay, so if I put this in, I get the upper limit in terms of u. So what do I get? Say u pi over 2 equals cosine pi over 2. Cosine pi over 2, using a unit circle, I know it's at the very top here. Cosine deals with exclusively the x direction in the unit circle, therefore it's 0. What about the lower limit? So this is the upper, and here is the lower limit for 0. Actually, I don't think I need that tiny u here. Okay. So we still use the cosine theta as a function, and when you put the cosine 0, you get 1. It's the radius itself. So on the top, upper limit takes 0, and the bottom limit gets 1. Just because 1 is higher doesn't mean it has to be up there. Okay? You have to put the upper limit and lower limit correspondingly. However, I can apply the cool technique where you can flip a and b, or the upper limit and the lower limit, by changing the sign. So you see that we have a minus sign in front. Well, I'm gonna get plus if I flip it. So on the top I get 1, and then on the bottom I get 0. Therefore I have a u to the 4th du. Now everything is intact in terms of du and u. And it's a simple antiderivative where you add a 1 to the exponent. 4 plus 1 is 5. And then this time you divide it by 5, unlike multiplying it in the derivative. And then you have 1 and 0. And don't forget 2 at the end. And if I substitute in, I get 1/5 flips and times 2, the answer must be 2/5.